Alright, so I want to make this video about, so there's a lot of people in the psychedelic community that, will talk about how they were in contact with, let's say, some people say, I've seen Jesus Christ on my psychedelic trips, or some people will say, I've seen the goddess Isis on my psychedelic trip, or I've seen, uh, the sun god Ra, or I've seen Anubis, or I've seen any of these Egyptian entities, or some people say I've seen Shiva in my psychedelic trip. Some people say, basically some people say they've seen all these entities and they name them, right? And that's my worry, is people who name them, and I'm not discrediting anyone who says they've seen these people or seen these things, because I've seen many things on my psychedelic experiences, but the issue is I've seen multiple female entities, and I don't know what they are, so I call them Mother Ayahuasca, because Mother Ayahuasca is known as this like female entity that's inside ayahuasca, and even though my experiences with her were with pure smoke DMT, I still considered it Mother Ayahuasca because I didn't know what it was. It could have been Isis, it could have been Mother Mary, it could have been my great-grandmother, it could have been my grandmother, who knows who it was a female entity, right? That's all I know. I'm not going to name it. I don't care if it looks like Jesus Christ, I don't care if it looks like Buddha, I'm not going to say it's Jesus or Buddha, because who am I, right? Like, who am I? Who am I to think that I'm that special that Jesus Christ himself would come to me? Who am I to think that I'm that special that some Egyptian god or goddess would personally pick me? I feel like psychedelics can leave you a little deluded, right? They can leave you a little, depending on how deep you go with it, but there's been times where I went so deep with psychedelics that I was in like this, almost like a psychosis almost, like for like a month, right? I mean, I thought I was God, and I mean, I know I am. I know we all are technically different parts of God. We're all the pieces of God, right? But no, I literally in my head, like, thought that I was God and I could manifest things into existence like this because I am a divine being, and that's just a fucking psychosis. These are psychosis-like thoughts that you can get on this path. But all that is the ego tricking you. All that is the ego tricking you because you think you're the shit. You think you're the shit because you figured out something that thousands of people already knew. Some people think they're the shit because they're like, oh, I did ayahuasca thousands of times. I've done DMT 500 times. It doesn't matter how much you've done it. Do you want a medal? Do you want, like, us to bow down and kiss your feet? Like, it doesn't matter. That's irrelevant, right? Because that's an ego trap still. That's an ego trap. If you're in the I did more than you, so I know more, or whatever. Like, I've been schooled by people who have only done DMT once. And I've been schooled by them. So it doesn't matter how many times you've done it. Sometimes the DMT experience leaves you with knowledge, not the other person. So, even if you've only done it one time, maybe you were endowed with knowledge that someone else was not. But that doesn't make you special. That's where I feel like we need to remember that there's nothing special about us. Nothing. I don't care how many times you've done DMT. I don't care how many trips to the Amazon rainforest you've done. I don't care how long you've been fucking meditating. I don't give a damn how long you say you haven't sworn or used a swear word or haven't. That doesn't make you anything. There are some like gurus that will leave society and won't speak or say a word. Some gurus sit in caves and don't say a word and they're silent. And they don't say a word for years to anyone, right? Does that make whatever they need to do to find that thing inside of them, right? But at the same time, that doesn't make them more enlightened. That what? Just because you could stay silent for so long? Do you want recognition for that? You want to be bowed down like Buddha was? Uh, this is. I think we get too caught up in this, right? This whole psychedelic spiritual path, learning knowledge, gaining interdimensional knowledge, traveling dimensions, learning from those dimensions, learning from the beings there. You know, like, I call them light beings. Light beings, interdimensional beings, noodle beings, mother ayahuasca type beings, higher entities, beings with... I describe the beings as in the way I look at them, in the way... the way I've seen them, right? I'm not going to start putting names to them, because that would say that I know. And let me tell you something. I don't know shit. I don't know anything, and if anybody out there claims that they know anything, they're most likely stuck in their own delusion. And they're trying to drag you into their delusion. Most likely it's just a unaware, unconscious psychosis-like thought. But at the same, I'm just saying this is what just happened to me, right? And over the years of just researching psychedelics, using psychedelics, exploring with friends, and exploring the psychedelic realm, traveling dimensions, exploring spirituality, researching spirituality, I can tell you that nobody knows. And I can tell you that anybody that claims they know, they don't. We are getting there. We're getting damn close. But we still don't know. Like, I could be completely right. Like, I have this thing called theory series, and all my ideas and theories from the psychedelic realm, yeah, they could be correct. But they could be wrong. But I don't give a fuck, because I'm not attached to my ideas. I don't care. Like, you have scientists that are dependent, their careers depend on their ideas to be proven right. Which is why science isn't going to work until you have scientists that don't give a fuck about their career. It's just like psychedelic philosophy really won't work until you have psychedelic philosophers that don't get too caught up on their ideas, on them trying to be right. It doesn't matter. You don't matter. I don't matter. Just because I've done psychedelics, I've seen light beings, I've done this, I've experienced that, doesn't mean anything for you. Because you have not experienced. It's all about direct experience, personal experience. Don't believe what I believe, because maybe you can prove me wrong. That's the beauty of it. Maybe you could start diving deep into the psychedelic realm, and then maybe you could say, hey, I have this idea that doesn't really match up with Mark's idea. That's great. Prove me wrong. That's the point of this reality, to get closer to what is, and the only way you get closer to what is by proving what is not. So, the psychedelic philosophers out there, any psychedelic explorers, don't get caught up on trying to be right. Get caught up on trying to figure out where you're wrong and go from there, because that's a better position to be in. Less egotistical, and you're less likely to get trapped in your own ego when you're looking for the things you're doing wrong instead of looking for the things you're doing right. But yeah, that's about all I got though for you guys for right now. But thank you guys so much for watching. And if you're a psychedelic explorer, dive deep, explore the mind, express it out to the world, let us know about it, and yeah, don't get too caught up on what you think you know, though. Express what you know, but also be willing to know that it might be wrong. But don't stop yourself from expressing it just because it might be wrong.